people remain small. As a matter of fact, what was the problem of this guy? And the more I thought about it, the more it dawned on me that, see, this guy was offended at his boss. This guy harbored negative emotions about his master. It's amazing how that two people can be working for the same organization and one person is prospering and another person is suffering. And the difference between the two of them is not the environment or the person they are working for, but what's going on in their hearts. This guy harbored negative emotions. And this is what I have discovered, that negative emotions will only produce wrong decisions. Okay? Negative emotions will only produce wrong decisions. That's why you want to make sure that you rid your heart of negative emotions. Now, I've gone beyond the scope of the book, and that's the beauty of the checklist seminar. What I'm sharing with you now was a part of what I shared with them at the seminar last year. Now, this is not in the book. After I wrote the book, many more ideas kept coming to me, and those are the things I share extensively at the checklist seminar. Now, this is one of them. Okay, when you harbor negative emotions, it leads to wrong decisions. This is what we're trying to say. It takes a healthy soul to generate exceptional ideas. It takes what? A healthy soul to generate exceptional ideas. I like to utilize the story of the golden goose. Okay, I'm sure you've heard that story of a farmer who found that his goose laid golden eggs, and every day he will pick one golden egg, go sell it in the market. Okay, and he became very rich. One day he said to himself, instead of waiting every day for this goose to lay a golden egg, why don't I cut the goose open and take all the golden eggs, go and sell them and become exceptionally rich? Of course, you know the end of the story. He killed the goose and cut it open and he found nothing. Okay, what should he have done? He should have nurtured the goose and he should have kept feeding it and with patience pick a golden egg every day. Ladies and gentlemen, that goose is your mind. If you nurture your mind, nurture your imagination, and feed it consistently with great ideas, it will lay golden eggs for you. But if your goose is sick, it will not lay eggs. Okay? If your goose is sick, it will not lay eggs. And that's what happened to the guy in this parable. He harbored negative emotions, so he could not generate exceptional ideas. He said to his master, he said, I was afraid. So everything he did was motivated by fear. You cannot be motivated by fear and be excellent at the same time. So what I'm going to share with you are ideas that will help you, have a positive soul, a positive heart, so that you can generate exceptional ideas. And the first thing I'm going to suggest to you is that you invest in emotional health and mental fitness. Invest in emotional health and mental fitness. Okay? Get spiritual and professional help. I said it before now that successful people do not joke with their spirituality. So it's important, if you're a person of faith, that you belong to a thriving community where your faith is being stirred, where you are growing spiritually and then emotionally and mentally. And then some people, based on whatever has happened to you in the past, if you are not fit, and I'm going to give you some suggestions or some ideas or pointers tonight. If you are not emotionally fit, if you are not mentally fit, tell yourself the truth and get help. So how do I know if my soul is not as healthy as it should be? If you cannot handle criticism, if you cannot tell yourself the truth and not feel bad, if feedback hurts you, then it means you are not as healthy as you should be. This is the flip side. If thinking stresses you, if you are the kind of person where you are in a discussion with people, they ask a question or there's a problem to be solved and you're always backing out, your default response is, I don't know. You are not mentally fit. You are not emotionally healthy. You want to make sure that you get help. Okay, invest in emotional health and in mental fitness. Invest in recreation. Invest in rest. Make sure you sleep well. As much as possible, make sure you eat healthy meals. Make sure you exercise. Make sure you have meaningful relationships in your life. These are all things that are necessary for a healthy emotional and mental health. All right. For emotional health and mental health. All right. It's very, very important that you invest in your environment, invest in your relationships, read books that help you understand yourself and that help you position yourself for exceptional living. Invest in it. It's not too expensive. Your life depends on it. The second thing I'm going to tell you is this. We talked about it last week. If you don't use it, you will lose it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. What am I talking about? Your thinking muscles grow stronger with use. Let me say that again. Your thinking muscles grow stronger with use. So what am I saying? Don't wait for big problems before you demand big ideas from your mind. Train your mind with everyday issues. I'm asking you to engage. When you get to work, when you are in a meeting, you're with a group of friends, or you are in a meeting in the office, don't be that person that is a silent listener to every conversation. No, engage. National issues, engage. Try and provide solutions. Answer questions. Engage your mind. Don't shut down. So don't be in a meeting and say, oh, they are all better, or they are all more, they are more intelligent. No, engage. Say something. In the minimum, ask questions. When in a group of people and you are trying to solve problems, or they are trying to solve problems, be the one asking the right questions that will lead everybody to the answer. Okay? That's a very smart thing to do. If you know you don't know the answer, ask the questions. And you know what I found out? He that asks questions controls the conversation. So you are in a meeting. Let me give a good example. You are in a meeting with your boss. Let's assume your company projected, say, we want to make 20 million every month. All right. And for the last 3 months, you guys have been making 5 million, 3 million. Things are not working. And now you are in a meeting. The boss said, we must crack this problem. Now you don't know the solution. The moment you get into the meeting, start with questions. Sir, what do you think is responsible for what our organization is going through? And then the man will explain things and all that. So in your opinion, sir, is this a trend? Has it happened before? In your running this organization, is this something? Was there a season where this happened? Just continue to ask intelligent questions. Watch this. You will be perceived to be intelligent, and you will gather exceptional ideas in the process. After a long time of asking the right questions, you will see patterns. You will see clues. And based on the answers people have proffered, you will look for the most intelligent response and you will recommend it. As a matter of fact, most number one people, this is the skill they have. They asked, years ago, the person who happened to be the chairman of HSBC Bank, so how come your bank is doing so well? And as at that time, the man was not very educated. He said, my strategy is to surround myself with people that are smarter than I am. Okay, so I said, the wisdom of the number one man is to surround himself with people that are smarter than himself. The wisdom of the number two man, therefore, is to be smarter than the number one man. So what does the number one man do? He comes into a meeting, he's surrounded by smart people, and he asks them questions. He takes all their answers, put them together, and picks the best answer and says, this is what we are going to do. At the end of the day, all he does is endorses the best idea. Why? Because he knows how to ask the right questions. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Engage. Use your mind, because if you don't use it, you will lose it. This is what I found out. If your mind is not used to generating big ideas, it will shut down to protect you at the sight of big problems. Let me say that again. If your mind is not used to generating big ideas, it will shut down to protect you at the sight of big problems. And what are big problems? Big problems are opportunities in disguise. So those who have trained themselves to respond to problems with the right questions and the right ideas, they don't get scared of big problems. They know The bigger the problem, the bigger the returns. The bigger the problem, okay, the bigger the success. So they respond to big problems with big ideas. What do? They simply just ask the right questions. But do not forget, if you don't train your mind to generate big ideas, it will shut down to protect you at the sight of big problems. Another idea I want to put at the back of your mind, if you're going to generate exceptional ideas, is that your first idea is never your best idea. Some people who've been listening to me for a while, you know this principle. Your first idea is never your best idea. So I'm going to ask you to do what? Make a habit of demanding more from your mind. Make a habit of demanding more from your mind. In other words, don't go with your first idea. Maybe you are in a meeting, okay, they are asking for suggestions. See, when you make a suggestion, don't stop thinking. So you say, okay, we can do it this way. The moment it leaves your mouth, begin to think. So in the same meeting, generate about 5 solutions. Or if you are to solve a problem before you approach your boss with solutions, as a matter of fact, I tell people that work with me, if you work with me, you don't come to me with problems. Okay, when you go to your superior with problems, you are telling them that you are what? You are irrelevant, you are unnecessary in the organization. I'm not asking you to hide the problems. I am asking you to take responsibility for solving problems, then go to your boss with at least 5 ways to solve that problem and ask him to make what? Make a decision. You see, the higher people rise or the higher people go in an organization, the more their job really is decision making. And the people that are most valuable and most relevant to them are the people that bring them options. I hope you are getting this. Okay, the manager, the CEO, his primary assignment is decision making. Okay, his go-to guys are people who are problem solvers. When there is a problem, they say, sir, we could do it this way, we can do it this way, we can do it this other way, we can do it this other way, we can do it this other way. For you to be that kind of person, you are not the kind of person that goes with your first idea. Okay? You don't go with your first idea. As a matter of fact, when you are dealing with intelligent people, assume that they know more than you know. And that the first thing you come up with is something that is likely to have crossed their minds. Okay? You don't want to make that. So you demand. And what I love about the human mind is it's an infinite muscle. It's full of possibilities. The more you stretch your mind, the more it will grow to accommodate new ideas. So don't go with the first idea. When you work on anything, give it time. Okay, let the thoughts percolate. Come up with options. Never come up with only one solution to a problem. You see, because when you try that one and it does not work, you should have an arsenal, okay, of plan B and plan C and plan D. Okay, these are options we can go to if this one does not work. And of course, it leads me to the final principle I want to share with you today. Be an explorer and not an expert. Be an explorer and not an expert. I'm asking you to embrace experiments. Okay, embrace experiments. No matter how intelligent you are, you cannot tell how well your ideas will perform until you execute them. Now, so when you are an explorer and not an expert, you see, an expert will defend his position. An explorer says, we are testing. I am not certain. It could work. It could not work. So experimenting predisposes you to generating multiple ideas. An expert will say, this is the way, and then he wants to defend his position. An explorer says, let's try it this way. If this way does not work, then we will try another way. If that one does not work, then we will try another way. Ladies and gentlemen, an experiment has the potential for one of 3 outcomes. It could lead to failure, success, or discovery. Okay? Failure, success, or discovery. If it fails, we'll try another way. If it succeeds, we have found the way. Or we discover a way that we did not even know existed before. Alvarian is Google's chief economist. In 2020, okay, he made a statement, and I want to share that statement with you as we begin to round up. He said, we don't want high-level executives discussing whether a blue background or a yellow background will lead to more ad clicks. Why debate this point, since we can simply run an experiment to find out? And I want you to adopt that attitude. Whatever it is that you are trying to do, this is the way you predispose your mind to generate exceptional ideas. Approach everything with the mindset of an experiment. Let's try it. Instead of saying, no, this is what is going to work. You see, I like to say to people this way. A hunch, okay, is not empirical evidence. A hunch that you feel strongly about something does not mean it is going to work. No matter how you feel about it, test it. If it works, fine. If it does not work, fine. We try another way. Or we discover something that we did not even consider before. With the ideas I've shared with you, if you will practice these principles, indeed, you will develop what I call quality thinking, okay? Quality of thought. You will know how to generate exceptional ideas. Let us stop it there for tonight. We will continue next week, Wednesday. But before we go, let me recommend the book to you. The book where all of this came from is The Checklist. If you have not read the book, I will encourage you to get a copy tonight. Just go to my bio, click on the link in my bio, and get the book. You will see the option of, getting the book. You can get the ebook for just 5,000 tonight and read it. It is one of the best books you will ever read in your life. And I'm glad to introduce to those of us who have not seen the cover, Moving Forward is my latest book. It's coming off the press in a few days. It's going to be unveiled at the Checklist Seminar 2024 happening on the 2nd of November 2024. So if you have not yet registered for the Checklist Seminar, I'm going to ask you to do that right now. Every participant at the Checklist Seminar gets a copy of this book. It is part of your registration. So if you are yet to register, go ahead and do it right now. Even if you are not in the city of Lagos, you can register to participate virtually by tomorrow morning. For those who are outside Lagos, from tomorrow morning, a link is going to be available on my bio that you can use to register for virtual access. Now, full registration is 50,000 naira. Virtual access is 30,000, and virtual access, gives you access to the seminar on that day virtually. And then for the next 30 days, you will have access to the seminar. In other words, we're going to give you that link that you would be able to use to join us. And after that day, a link will be available to you where you can go back to the materials from that day. You can download them to your system, whatever it is that you want to do. We're going to make all the materials available to you for the next 30 days after the seminar. So what are you waiting for? If you are yet to register for the Checklist Seminar, go ahead and register right now. As a matter of fact, if you will respond yes in the comments right now, the link is going to be sent to your DMs right away. So go ahead and register for the Checklist Seminar. We have a little over 20 seats left. And once those seats are taken, we are not expanding. It's not a crusade. It's not a church program. It's a training program. It's a networking opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to rub minds with very, very smart and intelligent people who will help you reposition yourself for exploits in the new year. If you're yet to register, go in my bio right now, click the link in my bio. You can even get more information even before you register so that you have an idea of what you are getting yourself, into, or what you're signing up for. Okay. There's an event page on Facebook where you get to see pictures from previous editions. Okay. You will see feedback for those who were in previous sessions, and you can register for the Checklist Seminar afterwards.